Hey guys, so I'm super excited. I've got a lot of questions on nutrition. So I eat pretty much the same thing or same times every day. So I always wake up and the first thing I start with is a bowl of oatmeal, and then I do half a scoop of my first form protein. Right now it's pumpkin spice because it's the fall and I love it. That's not super exciting, and that's just enough to get me through my first training session. And then I come home and I eat my favorite meal of the day, and I make it every single day. So that's what I'm about to share with you now. I cook a lot of the items ahead in bulk, so you'll see that most of it's already cooked. So then I just have to assemble it and it's ready for me every single morning. All right, so I'm gonna start with, let's see. So Paleo Power Meals bacon. This is the best bacon. It's already cooked. From there, I do a lot of gold and red skin potatoes. So I don't eat a lot of rice. I don't eat a lot of bread. Potatoes and oats are probably my main sources of carbs. From there, asparagus, which I cooked in the oven. And then some broccoli. And some eggs. So I typically get everything out. I start with my cast iron skillet. This is my favorite pan. You can put whatever kind of non-stick on it that you want, but I typically use butter because I think it makes everything taste awesome, and I also like a little bit of fat. So I have a fresh half stick. So I'll turn it on low just to start heating the pan up, and then I just put a really light coat of butter on my pan, not a ton, just enough to keep the potatoes from sticking. From here, I start with my potatoes. I'm not doing a ton of weighing and measuring right now, but I do know per meal I probably eat about 3 to 5 cupped handfuls of carbohydrates. So I just kind of guesstimate based on my hand. So it's about half a pan typically. And then I just start to let those warm up. And these were baked at 400 with a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of steak seasoning. Not much. Back. So next, I typically start with the bacon. I usually only do about 1 piece. I just love it. I try not to do too much. 2 pieces I think is probably too much for me. So I will chop up my bacon, crumble it, just into small pieces, and then I just add it to my potatoes, and now I'm going to let all of this start to cook on low. Okay. Get a different knife. So next I work with my veggies. Veggies are my favorite. So when I plan out my meals, I always like to think about, okay, what's my carbohydrate gonna be? Then I go to my veggie, and then last I go to my protein. Sometimes I think people think we should only eat protein, but I think making sure we have good carbs and veggies is also important. So again, I'm not weighing and measuring everything right now. I just need balance, and sometimes when I weigh and measure 24/7, it makes me a little bit crazy. So for my veggies, I'm doing about 2 fistfuls. So when I chop these up, I'm gonna do asparagus and steamed broccoli and just kind of eyeball about 2 of my fists, and that's how I know how many veggies to do. Just check on the potatoes, make sure they're not sticking. With the cast iron skillet, the whole pan will continue to heat up. So I wanna make sure my pan's not getting too hot, but everything is starting to cook and smell delicious. All right. So turn it up just a little bit. Once the potatoes have started to heat up, now I add my veggies so they can cook along with the potatoes. So I've got my diced asparagus and steamed broccoli, so I'm gonna go ahead and add those. Once I've got the veggies mixed in, I'm actually gonna cover the pan and just let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes and just keep the heat in. To cover my cast iron skillet, I actually use my little individual pizza pan. So it just goes right on top. I'm just gonna let it sit for just a couple minutes. So next I'm gonna start frying my egg while the potatoes continue to cook. So we are currently out of our non-stick spray. So I've just been doing until I go to the store, and I spread it with a paper towel. That way I get some of it off, and then it's also not super thick on the pan. So next, while the potatoes are cooking, I'm gonna fry my eggs once the pan gets nice and warm. I have really good days that I fry my eggs, and I have really bad days, and if it's a bad day, they turn into scrambled eggs. But I typically do 2 eggs in the morning. So once I take the pizza pan off, you can see how they start to get nice and crispy, which is what I love. Eggs are almost ready. I get nervous when I flip them. See what today, they look like they set up really well. One at a time. There we go. 1, 2. It's a pretty good day for the eggs. Turn this to low. Now when my eggs are cooking, I get my plate out. I have this weird problem. I forget to put lids back on. Then I put things back in the pantry. My husband shakes it and it explodes everywhere. Okay, so as the eggs are cooking, I'll put this on my plate. You're gonna notice it looks like a lot of food. Usually do a double flip just to make sure. And I put them on top. So up next is the secret piece. I've never really been a big salsa person on my eggs, but we found the best salsa in the world, and it makes all the flavors come together. So this mild salsa verde, I will sprinkle over the top of my breakfast, and then I'll enjoy. That should be enough. A little bit of pepper. And then to end it, a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. And now I'm ready for breakfast. Number 2. Eating healthy can taste good, and you don't have to always count. Everything counting's not bad, but being able to eyeball stuff is super important as well, so you don't have to stress, and you can just enjoy your food and enjoy what you're cooking. This is step number 1. We're gonna be sharing more recipes, more nutrition, advice, information with you, and keep an eye out because I will be starting to take on some one-on-one clients soon, and I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait to work with you all.